this is something that I see like nine out of 10 people really struggle with this. You know, there's always that group of people that you are worried about judging you for stepping forward and claiming who you really are, whether it's for being psychic or whether it's about your views about what's going on in the world, and being really afraid of that ostracization, right? Of those people completely rejecting you and saying like, you're crazy. We don't want anything to do with you. And it's that witch wound that we've talked about, where it's like that ancestral and past life trauma of being ostracized or killed for being psychic or for your magic or whatever it is. Like, how did you get through that? And what did you learn from that?
What it came down to was that it became so painful for me to not live my truth that there was really no other option.
Right.
My life had become painful to a point where what I would potentially face from ostracization, from like family, friends, whomever, was small potatoes in comparison to the pain I was feeling by not being authentically myself. How I navigated that is, first of all, finding like working one-on-one with you, finding a community of like-minded people who really held me in a beautiful, like loving container, in a way that I had never been held before. Because so many of my relationships and my friendships had all been based off of things that were not actually like really soul-centered. And that's the other awakening part of the work, is like realizing what relationships in your life are actually based in of something of substance, and what are based in convenience, occasional common interests, like being held by a group of women that were just like me, going through similar things, and that truly genuinely saw me for who I was and loved me for it, was one of the most healing experiences ever. And it also helped me, recalibrate what I look for in friends and what I look for in people around me, and how to really be very discerning about my small group of people.
Yeah. And I know that you say that all the time, and everyone says that about like the groups that I run. And that was never, I never went into this being like, oh, I'm going to start a community of people that are going to be able to help each other. I was just going into it thinking like, I'm going to help people, right? Which I do, obviously. Yes. But there's the aspect of the community that creates something greater than I've even ever thought of, or anybody can do on their own. It's just people that are brought together in such a magical way. And it's transformative having those people around you that speak your language and that can see you for who you really are. And it's everything. I mean, for me as well, like if I didn't have people like you and other friends, clients, mentors in my life, like I would not be sitting here at this moment. I don't know where I would be, but I would not be sitting right here. So I think like, and that's why I think there's such magic in like the one-on-one work and the group, because I feel like you kind of need the one-on-one to really like move fast with your own goals. But then like, if you don't have that community also, I feel like you're also missing like a part of it. So I feel like it's both of those things that just really help transform things and really help you to like actually be able to fully be expressed in who you really are.
Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head with that. And I just got a visual of like standing on your own 2 feet as well. So like while everything else is literally collapsing around you, you still are able to kind of stand on your own 2 feet in the container, which is like what the beauty is that like of what you offer. Not only the one-on-one, but also the people as well. And this is also coming from someone who is a notorious lone wolf. I like working alone. Like I like doing my own thing. But like after working with you one-on-one, and then also really experiencing the kind of group container and feeling vulnerable with that, like people, and being held by that, that group of people, that was such a medicine that I didn't even realize I needed. Yeah. So now it is like game change. Whenever I need a total perspective change, it's like hop on a call with like some of my friends, or like get back in a container, or like something like that, because it will absolutely shift your energy.
Totally. So then I want to talk now a little more about your work and like kind of how you discovered this work that you do. And if you can just like explain it, because I would rather have you explain it than me explain it. But I just have to say, when you discovered this, it was such a like just expansive moment for me, because it was just like this outpouring of like, holy shit, like not only is this like what you're supposed to do, but it's like nothing I've ever seen before. And it was just so like, wow. So yeah, if you just want to explain that whole process and what it is.
Well, first of all, thank you for that. That's so flattering.
It was though, like I'll be honest, like I remember that moment where I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. We need to shout this from the rooftops. I remember I was telling everybody, I was telling like my like Philly friends, like I was like, my client can do this. And they're just like, that's cool. I'm like, no. Like you don't understand. It's like really cool.
It's strange, at least because I guess I grew up just knowing how to draw, and so I always believed that everyone can learn how to draw. So it was never something that was like ever that important to me. It was important, but it wasn't in a way that was like, oh, that's my thing. It was just kind of like, oh, I always just know how to draw. I can always just draw faces. That was just part of who I've always been. And I feel as though it was the integrate, like I had to do the whole spiritual, psychic side of my business first. And then the drawing just naturally came in like a puzzle piece. I had a reading from a psychic named Johanna, who's a brilliant woman, many, many years ago. And I remember her telling me, I see someday you drawing spirit guides. And I had completely forgotten about that. Fast forward 4 years, I'm working with you, doing like tarot readings, psychic readings, energy like all of this stuff, mediumship stuff. And then I sit down one day, kind of in a lull, and I was like, I think I'm going to draw today. And then this woman comes through, and I hear her in my head very clearly, because I was like, what is this? I hear her very clearly in my head. I am you, you are me, we are one. I had the full realization that I had just drawn an aspect of my soul, my higher self. Wow. And that's when I messaged you, and I was like, okay, I found the puzzle piece into creation here.